let me introduce Dr. Nicole Sherrill Jamison. Woo! All right. Dr. Nicole Sherrill Jamison is a compassionate and engaging professional who helps her audience through visualizing their change. It's important. A motivational speaker, consultant, John Maxwell, certified life coach, and a realtor. Dr. Nicole is dedicated to her life work and believes in providing value and excellent service, making an impact on the world. The way she uses her knowledge to push through societal stigmas to facilitate change in her life makes her highly sought after a coach and consultant. Dr. Nicole uses her background in mental health to facilitate change regardless of her audience. She masters the uncommon way of helping her audience and clients embrace change by facing their fears. Anybody got fears in here? Man, you should have sat with me last week. You'd be like, what are you doing telling people you're a coach? All right. By the way, I've been a coach for 7 years, and I've helped many people, hundreds of women around the world, and hundreds of men and women obtain large amounts of wealth and prosperity and all that mindset. And I am so happy to be claiming to you all that I don't have it all figured out. Y'all need to know that we can all do this, and we don't have to have all the answers. And it is okay for us to say, if y'all had been with me last week, you'd have been like, oh my. Okay, so back to this, because she's making me think about this. Her empowerment tools leave her audience asking for more, helping people find themselves and put their strengths to work, and finding peace and harmony in life is what Dr. Nicole does. Being in love with service to others is all she ever wanted to do. Her book, The Importance of Me, which is sitting up here. By the way, all of these people that have books up here, please go make a review of them, on Amazon or whatever. It really helps them, especially like Cindy, that you purchased her book, and anybody that you've heard today, just do a review. Dr. Nicole is an agent for change who loves to socialize with family and friends in her downtime. She makes it a point to put God and family first before all she does. Welcome, please, with me, Dr. Nicole Sherrill Jamison.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I will tell you, I will be honest and transparent with you. I sat and I wrote 3 speeches for today. And I went and I saw Stedman Graham yesterday. And I sat there and I told him, I said, I got to speak tomorrow. He said, did you write a speech? I said, yeah. He said, throw it away. I said, what am I supposed to do? He said, let God lead and guide you. So I'm going on a whim here today. But I did write some notes, okay? So the biggest thing is mindset. I'm going to give you a story real quick. I was a high school dropout. Age 16, I had my first child. Age 17, I had my second child. I was a teenage mom. I was homeless with 3 kids at Rowan Helping Ministries. And I stayed there for a week. Had nowhere to go. Had nobody to call. That's just who I was at the time. My mindset said I was doomed and I would never, ever do anything. Never be anybody. I was useless and I was wasteful. On top of that, I was in a very abusive marriage. 23 years of being with one person that beat me black and blue. But I thought that was love. Because I didn't know what love looked like, okay? Because not only was I a teenage mom, my mom was as well. So there was a generational curse going on. And at some point, someone had to stop that mindset, right? It's a mindset. It's a mindset. So, 21 years old, with 3 kids in a shelter. And I'm trying to figure out, what in the world am I going to do? I had to find a place to stay. And I ended up going to the Housing Authority of Salisbury. One place that I vowed that I would never, ever go. Because I had dreams. I had goals. I had hopes and desires. So I went there. I got an apartment, and I stayed there probably a month because at that time I decided this is not my life. I don't want to live like this. I want to do bigger and better because I can. But because I had the mindset of I was doomed, I was nobody, I was worthless, and I was wasteful, I stayed in that abusive relationship. Because at this time we weren't married. We just had 3 kids. My mindset said, you can't leave him because your kids are going to end up just like you. So I wanted a 2-parent home. See, what's on the outside didn't look like what was on the inside. Everybody saw Nicole, oh, she's doing good, she got a good man. But I didn't disclose that information because it wasn't prevalent at the time. And I took that. So I'm going to give you a quote from Oprah Winfrey. Turn your wounds into wisdom. Take what you got going on and feed off of it and push you to where you want to be in life, okay? So I decided to marry my abuser because that's what I had to do for my kids at that time, okay? Continued. I had my last child when I was the age of 29 with my abuser, okay? And it took me 7 more years from that point to decide I can do better, I am better, and I'm worth more. But it was at that time that I was in school getting my master's, moving forward to getting my PhD, because you see I'm a doctor now. Okay? Again, it's the mindset of what you think about who you are as a person. Because what you think and believe is who you are, right? It's who you are. So March of 2006, I made the decision to leave. Now, it was comfortable, 2-parent home, 2-3 cars. I had purchased a home that no one in my house had ever done, in my family had ever done. I'm on my way to become a doctor. I'm teaching at A&T. I'm a consultant, and I'm working in mental health. So I've always kept 3 jobs because I never wanted to be hungry, and I like finer things in life. That was just me back then, okay? So I left. I left my home, which was mine, okay? That was my credit, okay? I left my home, and I moved down the street because I wanted my kids to still have the interaction with their father, okay? I decided from there, I said, I can't live in the same environment, in the same community, in the same city, because there's too much drama related to who I was at that time. So I moved to Greensboro. I put myself into counseling for 2 years. I had to work on my mindset. Because my mindset was completely messed up. All I could think of was I was not anybody. I wasn't good. I was trash. I was worthless. I was useful. I was wasteful. So I had to work on who I was as a person. Because guess what I was doing? What I was exuding, my kids was getting it too. So because if I'm doing it, they're going to do it too. So at some point in time, someone had to stop the cycle, right? Okay. So living in Greensboro, teaching at A&T, working on my PhD at this time. Still married, but separated. My grandparents were leaving. All I had was my mom, my sister, my 2 brothers, and at the time 4 kids. But because I didn't give my kids the information to defame who their father was, they elected to stay with him. So I'm in Greensboro by myself, making a new life, okay? And it was okay because I said, okay, better's coming, better's coming, better's coming. This is my life right now. It doesn't mean that it's going to be forever, But this is what I have to do to get to the next level, okay? I'm having a flash, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm 53 and it happens, okay?
It's getting muggy out there. It's not.
Okay. So anyway, I know, right? So anyway, I left A&T. I moved to Charlotte. By this time, I had met someone new. I was divorced, did divorce myself, didn't want anything. I didn't care about the house. I could care less because where I was going, what I had before was going to be restored 10 times. Remember that, okay? Because I'm going to talk about that too. So I moved to Charlotte, got a new job, still consultant, still doing my own little thing, and I'm speaking. I'm helping people establish their business. Because again, education is knowledgeable. Knowledge is power. Learn things along the way that you can add to what you're doing so you have more than one source of income.
That's right.
The goal is to always have more than one source of income. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, okay? So I'm in Charlotte, met a guy. I don't believe in living with anybody, but I was living with him, okay? And so we decided to get married. Prior to getting married, I was working with a company, a mental health company. I'm not going to say who they are. I've been working with them for 10 years. And during this time, I had gotten my PhD. And I knew my value, I knew my worth, but they didn't acknowledge it. And it really started affecting me again, mentally. Now, I've gone through all the counseling, all that stuff, but I was back to where I was before because it was familiar territory. Because, see, when you get to a point where you're starting to excel, that little person on the shoulder and tell you, you can't do it.
Imposter syndrome's right.
You ain't nobody. Come on back down where you need to be. And you believe that stuff. You really believe that you can't do it. So I went back there. And I'm just looking at myself like, how do you do this? But because the employer that I was working with did not want to promote me, did not want to give me a raise, I started having generalized anxiety disorder. So I would have anxiety attacks. And this one particular day, I was going to work from Charlotte to the office, and I had an anxiety attack. It was so bad that I had to pull over to a gas station right by the Speedway. And my heart rate was so fast. I thought I was having a heart attack because it came up my back, down my arm, and back up into my face. It was just that bad. And I pulled over to the gas station, and I got out, and I saw this gentleman. I said, call 911. And he said, what's wrong? I said, I can't breathe. My chest is hurting. And this man sat there with me until 911 came, okay? And all I can remember is he said, if you get through this, God got better for you. I didn't understand what he was saying. So my mom came, ambulance came. I think my heart rate had got up to like 162. My blood pressure was up, and they were just sitting there talking to me. And over time, I got back to normal. So I'm looking around for this man. I can't find him. And I asked the lady, I said, where's that man that was sitting here with me? I want to thank him. They said, ma'am, you've been sitting here by yourself. And I was like, no. There was a man sitting beside me, and he kept telling me it's going to be okay. This is only beginning of better to come. And my mama said, girl, you crazy. Come on, let's go home. So I come back to Salisbury with my mom. You know, I was with her, and she said, are you sure you saw someone? I said, Mom, I am not lying. I saw someone. So anyway, went to the doctor the next day. She took me out of work. She said, this is not the first time, but the second time this has happened to you. Your job is going to kill you. You've got to let it go. She took me out of work for 3 months. Okay? This was March 23rd, 2015. I went back to work July. Went back to work in July. I had FMLA. They gave me my job back, but they didn't give me the exact job. They kept me at the pay that I was getting. But guess what I was doing, y'all? I was 3-hole punching papers. And here I am, a PhD at this time. So can you imagine what it did to my psyche? I was like, what? And the sad part about it is, the people that I thought were my friends that work with me would come around the corner and look like, I told you. Okay, fine. So he finally gave me another job in Charlotte. Well, I was at the office in Concord this time. They gave me another job in Charlotte. But what I didn't tell you is during the time that I was out, I started my new business, okay? I went back to work. The treatment was no better. So I gave them a notice. I said, September 25th is my last day. 2 weeks notice, okay? So they said, you need to give a 30-day notice because you're going to leave 30 days of PTO on the table. I said, where I'm going, I ain't going to need that money because I'm going to get more money. And I didn't realize it, so I'm going to fast forward. 2019, my mom passed unexpectedly without notice. I was at my home in Miami. My husband and I was getting ready to go. My second husband and I was getting ready to go on our 3rd year anniversary. And I was on the phone talking to my sister. I was getting my hair done. I can remember like it was yesterday. And we were talking, and she said, oh, that's Mama on the phone. I called her back. I said, girl, answer that phone. You don't know what Mama wants. She said, oh, I'll call her back. So when I left from getting my hair done, I called. I said, dang, she ain't answering the phone. So I called my daughter, Brooke. I said, have you talked to Granny? She came by here, and she picked the check up. She said she wasn't feeling well. She was going home. I said, well, somebody needed to go and figure out what's what. By the time I got home, my brother called me. They found her non-responsive. And I said, okay. I think I zapped out because I think I remember when I got to North Carolina, I was getting off a plane. I do remember calling my travel agent. I said, I need a flight. I don't care how much it costs. Get me to Salisbury. So I got home. Mama passed unexpectedly. It was a heart attack. Devastating, okay? So my mindset tripped back up in me. Okay, what am I going to do? The person that supported me the most is gone now, right? So I'm thinking, what am I going to do? Buried my mom. Buried my mom October 5th, 2019. Okay. Now, by this time, I had a very lucrative business. And I'm not gloating, but I was making $2.6 million a year by this time, okay? So what I'm saying is he will restore you 10 times. That's why the PTO was nothing for me, okay? But I still was missing something. I was empty on the inside. And so I'm going back to work. I took a sabbatical of 3 months. My assistant sits back there, Tina, at the time. I took 3 months off. I came back to work January 20th. COVID was among us then, okay? And I'm like, excuse my language, damn, here we go with something again. I'm trying to figure, okay, so now what we're supposed to do. And we were sitting there strategizing, okay, we got to let some people go, and we can't see clients in this assisted living. We were just strategizing. It was more than I could handle because I was still dealing with the death of my mom. I made the dumb decision to sell my company. It happens. We all make decisions. It was a mindset because I said, if I remove the stress, then I can get back to who I was, deal with my mom's death, and move on, start something new. So I sold my company. 2021, I was unemployed, technically retired, because the sale of my business was going to keep me for years, right? I'm not even going to go into that part, but okay. The sale of my business didn't bring me what I thought it was going to bring me. And I'm okay, because again, I still had some things, a little nest egg to the side, so I'm good. My mindset was still, okay, what am I supposed to do? So I joined this group, Ladies of Success of Miami. Y'all know Nene Leaks, right? She was over this. Wonderful women, sisterhood, interacting, but I was still empty. Because, see, the amount of money you have don't have nothing to do with anything if you ain't right up here. This right here and this right here, they have to connect. There was a disconnection there. There was a complete disconnection there. And see, by this time, somebody probably thought I should be on drugs, in prison, or dead. Because everything that I had gone through should have taken me out, but it didn't. So I said, okay, fine. I went ahead and I started real estate. I said, well, let me figure out something else I want to do. I just want to make money. But that was the wrong mindset. Because God said, until you come through me,
Amen.
you can't do nothing.
That's right.
And I could not understand the logic. Because I was used to having, look, Louis Vuittons, Gucci's, and all that stuff. That's material. I had to be materialized in my heart and in my mind. And people don't understand that. And I've heard so many people talk about money today. Money makes the world go around. I get it. But if your mind ain't right, that money's going to come and flow straight through your hand. Because you don't know what you're doing because you ain't straight yet. Okay?
Famous people and rich people who go back.
It will leave you. It will leave you. So it's okay, fine. Let me just go ahead and do real estate. And real estate was the first year was great for me. I started in July. I had 6 sales by the end of December. So I'm good. I'm okay, you know. So then the mindset kept tripping back, kept trickling back. My sister came. She said, you need to get in church.
There you go.
She said, because you keep hitting the same brick wall. You need to get in church. I'm like, I don't want to go to church. I was made to sing at the age of 8, okay? I was made to sing at the age of 8. I was made, I didn't want to sing. I was made to sing. And so when someone takes you and puts you where you don't want to be, you resist, you rebel, right? Yes. And so I was rebelling. And so she said, come on, come back to church. I said, okay, fine, no problem. So I started back in church last year. I joined the church. I'm going to church. And she said, you just coming to church. You ain't even real. You just coming to church. And I was, because I said, as long as I'm coming into church and I'm sitting down in the pew, I'm good, right? But the thing about it is, church is not a dwelling. It's right here. It's right here. Mindset again. Again, this and this has to connect, right? Has to connect. Let me put my glasses back on, y'all. I'm supposed to say another quote right quick. Okay, hold on. You don't get what you want in life. You get who you are.
There you go.
That's Les Brown. So I was giving who I thought I was, but I was getting back who I was, which was nobody. See, I hadn't found the freedom. As Stedman Graham would say, freedom is all you need, and it's on the inside. It's not the outside, it's on the inside. Freedom, if you are free with who you are, and your mind is right, you can do anything in the world. You can make as much money as you want to because you're telling yourself, I can, I will, I can do, and I'm going to make it happen. So let me go back to when I had my business. I had a financial advisor. I had a coach. And my financial advisor said, you have to put money back for rainy day. You making all this money. What are you doing with it? What about 10 years from now? And I told her, I want to be retired by that age 55. I don't want to work anymore because I don't have to. She said, okay, fine. She put me on this platform. She said, well, you need to get life insurance. Now that you're married, you need to get life insurance on you and your husband. Okay, fine. So be it. Okay, fine. I got the largest insurance policy I could without them investigating me, okay? Because, you know, after you get over a certain amount, they start investigating you. Why do you want this much money? You know, people kill, okay? Just being real. So we got a whole life policy for myself and him. And I was strategically thinking, because if I got a whole life policy, this policy can make money for me. Mindset again, okay? Mindset. So I said, okay, fine, let's do that. Then she say, you gonna do any stocks? I said, no, let me see. So I started watching Warren Buffett. I started following Warren Buffett. And he gave me five stocks that I need to watch. Becton Dixon, ADP, Berkshire Hathaway, Johnson & Johnson, and one Australian stock. I had 100 stocks in all 5 of those, okay? Because it was a mindset. I wanted to retire at the age of 55. I said, okay, fine, no problem. So I'm looking good financially. I'm making good money. I have stocks. I got a good life insurance policy. So I'm set financially. Mentally, I wasn't. So guess what happened to those stocks? When I lost my business, I had to live. I had to pay my bills. I had to eat. I had to pay my bills. Dipping, dipping, dipping. And over time, it's not gone, but I put a dent in it. And so it's like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do now? I was the breadwinner of the family, okay? So it was all on me, trying to take care of my husband, me, and I have 4 adult children, and I have 6 honey kids. So everybody was looking at me like, well, what are we doing? You know, I had 2 children that worked for me. They were hired through me. My husband worked for me. And so it was, again, the mindset, because we had gotten so high that we forgot the mindset. Because see, what happens is a lot of people get all this money, okay? And we'll travel. We'll buy all the accoutrements. I was showboating. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm transparent. I don't have no reason to lie. I was showboating. I was making sure that everybody saw everything that I was doing, thinking that I'm somebody now. Because, again, the mindset from way back when was still with me. I hadn't changed. My actions may have changed, but the mindset was still there. Because until you are 100% clean, it doesn't matter what you do. You're going to mess up at some point in time until you get yourself together. And so I had to go back to my therapist. And she said, what you doing here again? We done did this work. I said, we're going to be lifelong. Because I'm going to need you forever. Because I'm going to consistently make mistakes because I'm human first and foremost. Okay? And it's okay to have a therapist. A lot of people are like, you crazy. No, I'm smart. Because I know when I need the help. I know when I need to reach out and make sure that someone is there to pick me back up when I can't pick myself back up. And I got all the awards. I was a Small Business of the Year award recipient. I was a sponsor for Pride. I got so many different awards. I'm like, those things don't matter. Because, again, those are accoutrements. Those are things that you can just throw in the trash if you want to. Your mind, you can't throw in the trash. It's with you consistently each and every day, right? So you've got to be right here and here. These two have to connect. And until they connect, nothing is going to matter. You can make all the money you want to. If these two are not together, that money's going to come through your hands. How much more time do I have? Okay. So, I'm sorry, guys. Anywho, so what I started doing, I got a vision board. I developed a vision board. Everything that I wanted to acquire, I put on that vision board. I became silent. I came off the grid for a whole year. I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't post on Facebook. I didn't do anything. I came off the grid. And I just got silent, and I just got myself together. My sister came to me a little bit ago, and she said, God's going to restore everything that you lost again. He came to me in a dream. I'm like, girl, here we go. Sure again. That's why I said, you know. That's okay, fine. And so I was intentional with my actions this time. I'm back in church. I tithe. I read my Bible. My prayer every morning is, Lord, make me over. Spiritually first. Physically second. Emotionally third. Financially fourth. Because if these first 3 are not together, this one right here doesn't matter. And so I'm saying this. Your mindset is everything. If you do not have your mind right, I don't care if you have $1 million. You have $1 billion. You can have $100 in your pocket. You're going to walk out this door. You're going to go somewhere, and you're going to spend it because it's going to flow through your hands because you're not treating it the way it should be treated. Mindset. If your mindset is not where it needs to be, you are not 100% yourself. Be true and authentic, and make sure you check yourself. Thank you.